My name is Elena. I'm 27 years old. 3 days after I gave birth, still in a hospital gown, stitches fresh, my newborn daughter sleeping on my chest, my mother looked at me and said, "You can't come home." My father didn't even look at the baby. He just added, "Figure it out." I hadn't slept in 42 hours. I hadn't stopped bleeding. And I had nowhere to go. But I didn't cry. I didn't beg. Because while they were busy throwing me away, I had already called someone they never expected. And when that person walked into my hospital room 48 hours later, my father tried to leave. Too late. Everything they had done was about to come out. If you're watching this, subscribe and tell me where you're watching from. Because what happened next still doesn't feel real. I remember the exact moment they walked in. Room 214, 3:07 p.m. I know the time because I had been staring at the clock for hours, waiting, hoping they'd come, hoping I was wrong about them. The door opened slowly. My mother walked in first. No flowers, no smile, no, "How are you?" Just a tight face and crossed arms. My father followed behind her, already looking irritated, like being there was an inconvenience. Neither of them looked at my daughter. Not once. She was 3 days old. 3 days. And they didn't even acknowledge her existence. "When are they discharging you?" my father asked. Not hello. Not are you okay. Just logistics. "Tomorrow, maybe the next day," I said quietly. My voice didn't sound like mine. It sounded smaller, weaker. My mother stepped closer to the bed and placed a folder on my lap. A thick one, tabbed, prepared. Like she had planned this. "We need to discuss what happens next," she said. That's when something in my chest tightened. Not pain, something worse. Recognition. This wasn't a visit. This was a transaction. "You can't come home," my father said. Just like that. Flat. Final. I blinked. "What?" "We're not equipped for this," he continued, gesturing vaguely at the baby. "You made your choices." My mother nodded. "You're an adult now. You need to handle your responsibilities." I looked down at my daughter, her tiny fingers curled against my hospital gown. She weighed 6 pounds 1 ounce, born 2 weeks early, because stress pushed my body too far. "You're saying this now?" I whispered. "I just gave birth." My father checked his watch. "We're saying this before it becomes our problem." That sentence stayed with me. Their problem. Not their daughter. Not their granddaughter. A problem. They stayed for 9 minutes. I checked later. 9 minutes total. Before leaving, my mother tapped the folder. "Sign those before discharge." Then they walked out. Just like that. No hug, no goodbye, nothing. I sat there for hours after they left. Silent. My daughter sleeping on my chest. Machines beeping softly around me. And that folder sitting in my lap. Something about it felt wrong. Not just cold. Calculated. I opened it. Insurance documents. Legal forms. Highlighted signature lines. Too organized. Too ready. Like they knew exactly when I'd be vulnerable. That's when I noticed something strange. Page numbers skipped. Page 2, then page 4. Page 3 was missing. That's when I stopped feeling hurt and started paying attention. I reached for my phone, scrolled back through messages, dates, times, details, looking for something, anything, that explained this. And then I saw it. 3 nights before I gave birth, 11:48 p.m. My father had texted me, "Are you home tonight?" I replied, "No, still at hospital, monitoring." 2 minutes later, he texted my ex, the father of my baby, a man who had disappeared months earlier. "Hey, just checking. Elena's not there tonight, right?" At the time, I thought it was weird. Now, it felt different. My heart started racing. I went back further. Weeks, months, patterns, questions, too many questions. And then I remembered something. The night my father insisted I sign just a simple document during my pregnancy. He said it was for security. I never read it properly. I trusted him. I grabbed my bag, dug through it, and found my copy, the real one, complete. Page 3 intact. I compared it to the one in the folder, and that's when everything changed. Page 3 wasn't just missing, it was removed on purpose. Because that page explained something critical. I had full control, full authority, full ownership. Without it, I'd be signing everything away. My hands started shaking. This wasn't abandonment. This was a setup. I didn't sleep that night, not even for a minute. At 2:14 a.m., I made the call. "Hello? I need help," I said. "My name is Elena, and I think my parents are trying to take everything from me." There was a pause. Then the voice on the other end said, "I've been waiting for this call." 2 days later, they walked in. First, a man in a suit, then a woman with a badge, and behind them, someone my father recognized instantly. His face went pale. Actually pale. Like the blood drained out of him in seconds. He turned toward the door, but it was already closing. "Mr. Carter," the woman said calmly, "we need to talk." My mother looked confused. "What is this?" But my father already knew. I could see it. In his eyes. In the way his hands started shaking. "Sit down," the investigator said. And for the first time in my life, my father didn't argue. They laid everything out. The documents, the missing page, the altered clauses, the timing, the messages, the intent, piece by piece, detail by detail. "You planned this," the investigator said. "You waited until she was vulnerable. You removed her rights, and you attempted to transfer financial control." My mother turned to him slowly. "Is that true?" Silence. That was my answer. Then my father did something I'll never forget. He looked at me and said, "I was trying to help you." Help. I laughed, not because it was funny, because it was unbelievable. "You abandoned me," I said. "You ignored your granddaughter. You tried to take everything I had." He shook his head. "You wouldn't have managed on your own." That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped into place. Clear, cold, final. "I don't need you," I said. Silence filled the room, and for the first time, he had nothing to say. They escorted him out shortly after. Not arrested, but warned, documented, exposed. My mother stayed behind, crying, apologizing, saying she didn't know. Maybe she didn't, but she still walked into that room and chose not to care. That was enough for me. I was discharged the next day, with my daughter in my arms and no parents waiting outside. But I wasn't alone, not anymore. Because the person I called, they stayed. They helped. They made sure I wasn't powerless. And that changed everything. It's been 6 months now. I have a small apartment, a stable job, and a daughter who smiles like the world is still good. Sometimes people ask me, "Do you forgive them?" I think about it, honestly. And I've realized something. Forgiveness doesn't mean access. You can let go of the anger without letting them back in. Because some people don't just fail you. They choose not to care. And that's a choice you're allowed to walk away from. So I want to ask you something. If you were in my position, would you forgive them or walk away for good? Tell me in the comments, because I still think about it every single day.